Will this be the end of our weekend? Will they finish the race?
We knew it was gonna happen.
Welcome to another episode of Race 46, where we're getting ready to head to Pitt Race for another 4-hour endurance. What could go wrong?
I'm sure nothing on our 246,000 mile E46.
How's today looking, Chris?
Doing great, just unpacking, getting ready for a great day.
Pitt, we didn't do a lot to prep. We were coming off of Gingerman, things went well.
We sorted the brakes at Gingerman and dialed them in. We dialed the rebound in on the coilovers at Gingerman, got the car feeling really nice and planted. The balance with the hawk pads, front and rear, has been substantially improved for the last half of the season. So yeah, the car felt pretty good going into the event.
I'm feeling optimistic. Our LOL joke of ill-prepared racing is a little more prepared than typical, even though it doesn't look like it because I'm wearing a radio right now. But we have radios, which should help with our pit stop strategies, as well as communicating anything happening with the car, which is great. Basically, it's changed the oil, changed the tires.
We did get some new Cooper RS3 tires that we're super stoked to try out on track. Should be a lot more appropriate for endurance racing because the minimum tread wear is 200 that we can use, and these are 220, as opposed to, I think the Exhilarates were 320.
Prepared than before. Yeah. Actually, I think we're just prepared. I would call working on radios nothing. We did tires at the shop, we did oil at the shop, we did nut and bolt check at the shop.
We're not overwhelmed with stuff to do, we're just whelmed.
Yeah, we're regular whelmed. Is whelmed a word? This should be, because
I
there's
feel like it should
overwhelmed
be.
and underwhelmed, but is there whelmed?
Well, we did change the oil at the shop, but I just checked it and I think it settled a little bit. I'm gonna throw another half a quart in there just to make sure it's good to go. For endurance racing, sometimes it's better to put in an extra half a quart just to make sure you make it through the race, make sure it doesn't slosh around, oil starvation, all that stuff. I missed.
No. It's on video now.
Womp womp.
We were so busy finishing up the radios and the cool suit that none of us actually got to get any practice. We were trying to get Jay out at the last session because he just arrived, and yeah, it just didn't pan out, unfortunately.
Chatfield was really excited to do the race start. He hadn't done one of those yet, so he was looking forward to that. And then he did the first leg.
We did start near the back because we were Trek 4, we're the lowest class. Ended up, I think, past a couple cars, got passed by probably more than a couple cars, but yeah, it went well. We bought the Garmin Catalyst. We had seen some fellow racers using it. We were very intrigued and we tried it out ourselves, and it is very powerful. It's also very distracting. To me, I personally just like getting my head, putting my head down and just putting lap after lap after lap. If I see a lap time in front of me, it gets in my head. No, I think it was very useful. I think more importantly, I was actually using the race timer to see how long I'd been out there.
What was Chatfield running? 212, which is really fast, especially on 200 treadwear tires. When we did Enthusiast Showdown and we were taking people for ride-alongs, I did 210 with a passenger in the car. So for him being at 212, that's some really significant progress and comfort in the car. And then it's pretty cool, we can track every lap time delta in the app.
Paul was waiting for the green.
Yeah, but he only had to wait for double yellow.
Yeah, there was a yellow flag. It happened an hour in, so I wanted to pit at the yellow flag.
Right as Chatfield was hitting the limit of his stint too.
There was a car that broke down, unfortunately, in the middle of the track, so they had to bring out a pace car.
Then they put out a double yellow, which is a full track caution. You're not allowed to pass, and you're not allowed to pit.
Are you going to paddock?
I'm going to pit.
You can't go to pit with the yellow. You can wait at the end.
We had started pit entry prior to the double yellow and then got hosed.
I can go to pit or no?
Pits are closed because of the double yellow.
Oh, okay.
And it's in the rules. I'm not mad at NASA or the Trek rules or anything, but it was unfortunate because then Chatfield had to sit there for 10, 12, 15 minutes. I'm sure it was like 6. But when the pace car is going by and all your traffic is going by with it at 50 miles an hour, it feels like
and so
the longest wait of your life.
In hindsight, I should have pit that lap before because I think pit may have been open still, but no, I got caught up behind the pace car. But it is what it is.
What should have been a 5-minute pit ended up being probably closer to 20 after they finally let him into the pit, and then we could actually refuel and switch drivers.
Yeah, and we were able to switch, so I took second stint and was able to put some really good times back up on the board, start to eat back into the margin the other teams had picked up on us.
How are those Cooper tires feeling?
Yeah, they got a lot of slip angle in them. They remind me of Toyo. It's like driving a Toyo, but it's like a bit softer, like compound, but just a little softer sidewall, I think. It's pretty predictable. I'm really enjoying them. I think we could use another couple of clicks more firm on the H&Rs. They feel really good, but I think they could be more aggressive, and we got plenty of room for that.
For about 6 laps.
Yeah, maybe 7, and then the car just died.
I don't know, I think it was maybe 20, 30 minutes in, he radios in that.
Well, I didn't hit anything, but we're broken.
No warning, no check engine lights, no misfire. It just went from running to death.
Fuel pump maybe, if I had to guess. They always run the fastest before they explode. Why don't we shove off and just go right up to the trailer where the tools are and have a calm, cool, and collected look at what's going on?
Knew it was gonna happen.
And thank you to the Pitt Race tow crew and officials. They were able to give us quite a lengthy tow back to our paddock to where we could try to figure out what the heck was going on.
What happened? It feels like we lost a fuel pump. Just died going in like a straight line. Nothing eventful. Just sort of sputtered out. It'll crank but not fire. I hear the compression. There wasn't a trail of oil, so fingers crossed, but we got to push it right now.
Fuel pump is not something that we have.
No, but you and Jocelyn replaced it last year.
Oh yeah, we did.
Well, the serpentine belt looks good.
How's the oil look?
There's oil. It's still all the way up. Alternator belt.
Yeah, it all looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, we were all kind of baffled trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Damn it, Grant. I know the drama's good for you, but I'd rather be racing.
Our belts look good. Well, shit.
Initially, you were really thinking was the fuel pump. We put a brand new fuel filter on it beginning of last season. We never touched the fuel pump though, and at 245,000 miles, we figured it was probably original.
So we already changed everything else in the fuel system, so we opted to change the fuel pump. We couldn't hear it priming either.
We had Ellen get one from
That's right.
here at ECS, and Chris Chatfield and I drove back from Pitt and met her just a few exits past Summit Racing. And so we went back with the new fuel pump and started to replace that.
So another problem with getting to our fuel pump is that it's back here.
Oh, here, I'll demonstrate. Other Chris will climb in the trunk.
Ta-da!
Fuel pump went in pretty okay. We had, of course, had a full tank of fuel because we had just refilled in the pit stop.
Here, fuel pump.
Okay.
And a wiper.
Go to fire a car up, it fires right up. We're like, all right, let's go. Runs about a minute.
Get the fuel in there.
Yeah, we just
And then dies
some air
again.
bubbles.
So we're scratching our heads. We move on to look at something on the head. We start pulling injectors to see if we have a clogged injector because it'll run but not stay running.
And mind you, at this point, the race is over.
Yeah.
We did not finish. It's by the time we got back with the new fuel pump, it's starting to get dark.
So we finished the fuel pump install and we're still running into crap late at night. Not entirely sure what it is. We threw the code reader at it, some more, got a MAF code, we're playing with that, plugging it in, plugging it out, seeing if it's just sputtering. It is running at least, so at least we're better off than we were before, but yeah, it's not a good situation. We just got to keep troubleshooting.
We worked on it till probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and then we had to worry about it the next day just to try to save the weekend.
We were wrenching all the rest of the day Friday, the whole day Saturday, and maybe a little bit Sunday, just some troubleshooting.
And we didn't figure it out. And
Yeah,
so,
and it was killing me because this whole time we've been racing this car worried about that oil pump nut. The reason we're so concerned about the oil pump nut is that if it falls off, it could throw our engine out of time, effectively blowing our motor. And I'm just wondering, did I slip it out of time? Did the nut back off during my stint? And are we gonna need a new motor?
And we have yet to figure that out.
It's, you know, that's how racing goes sometimes. Sometimes everything's all great and nothing breaks, no one hits anything. Sometimes you get the other end of the stick.
Loaded on the trailer, called it.
We used our brake clean in the intake system to start it up so we could get it loaded up and hauled back here. Scott, our lead tech, is going to diagnose it, put pressure gauge on our fuel system, see where we might be losing some pressure or not getting any flow, but the injectors are firing, so it's hard to see where the issue might be.
Yeah, we ran through everything that you should run through. Start with what you know, right? We weren't getting fuel, we had a lean code, so fuel pump made sense, couldn't hear it prime. In hindsight, we could have bench tested the old fuel pump before we went and got a new one, but we work here, we have fuel pumps. Seemed like a no-brainer. It's 245,000-mile-old fuel pump anyhow, so if not now, it was going to be later. Went up to the head, looked at ignition, moved coil packs around, see if we get the misfire to move. It was just everywhere, so that was a pretty good indicator. We had something a little more significant going on. Again, me worrying about it being out of time and that oil pump bolt being
Yeah, and that was the biggest
gone.
thing, because I was trying to run it to get more diagnostics and to see where things might be going wrong. But while it's misfiring, you're gonna melt your pistons, you're gonna break the car. It's time to just turn it off and let it be.
Yeah, there was a lot of hopes and dreams, but that's part of racing, right? We got a little bit better idea, some spares to bring, because we were rounding up some spares from other people there just to test our symptoms. Bring a handful of spare sensors and plugs and coil packs if you're gonna track your car. You don't need 6, but bring 2. We didn't have any, that was a mistake. So we learned from that. We'll fix the car, we'll get it prepped for NCM, and try again.
Yep.
So lastly, you may notice that we're down to 2 people during this interview. You will have seen Chatfield at some point in this video, but that's because Chatfield got a big new job at a major tire manufacturer, and we're super excited for him. Send us some tires. But we are down to 2, which means we have to figure out how to do a 4-hour enduro in a month with just 2 of us.
While even fueling takes 2 people alone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to borrow some hands, I think. You might see our man behind the camera putting fuel in the car, who knows? Like, comment, subscribe, follow along, and find out what happens.
See you at NCM.
See you at NCM.